In the fight against the coronavirus, it is becoming apparent that the mask requirement in certain areas of public life will remain in place beyond March 20th. We have to take measures that no longer massively interfere with the life of the individual. The mask, especially the FFP2 mask, seems to be a tried and tested way of preventing infections in public spaces, Social Democrat parliamentary group leader Rolf Mützenich told the newspapers of the Funke Media Group. The FDP, the Liberals, which is otherwise skeptical about further corona restrictions, has also signaled its approval. The protective mask now has many supporters among the population. More than every second person in Germany wants to continue wearing a mask even after the mask requirement has expired, as a representative INSA survey has shown. 52% stated that they held on to the mask even if they were not required to do so, most of them in local transport, retail and long-distance transport. 41% on the other hand want to do without the mask as soon as it is allowed. A majority in turn is in favor of maintaining the mask requirement in certain areas beyond March 20th. According to a three-stage plan by the federal and state governments, the vast majority of corona restrictions should be lifted by March 20th. The nationwide legal basis for such measures expires on March 19th. However, basic protection, for example with compulsory masks indoors, on buses and trains and with tests, should remain possible. A new nationwide legal basis is being sought for this. How this should look like exactly is a bit disputed at the moment. The Liberals in particular are against allowing broader restrictions on fundamental rights. Federal Minister of Justice Marco Buschmann from the Liberals told the newspaper Rheinische Post, "At the moment, only measures with a high degree of effectiveness and a low level of intervention seem conceivable to me. These could be in particular test strategies and the obligation to wear masks in special situations." The Greens, on the other hand, are pushing for a more comprehensive catalogue of measures in the event that the corona situation worsens again. Federal Family Minister Anne Spiegel also believes that it is still necessary to wear masks in schools. "I would welcome it if masks were still worn in schools and elsewhere," she said to German newspapers. Objection came from the liberal health politician Christine Aschenberg-Dugnus. Basically, it should be the personal responsibility of each individual where and to what extent you wear a mask in everyday life, she said. It's particularly important for children that they can go about their everyday lives without a mask, is her opinion. And Bavaria's Prime Minister Markus Söder from the Conservatives calls on the federal government to quickly create the basis for an extension of the mask requirement. He says, "The traffic light is required so that we are not delivered completely unprotected to corona. We need a legal basis that will continue to make it possible to wear masks and carry out tests. This is particularly necessary for the schools." Söder said, "Only with tests and masks can we achieve the necessary safety for our students in face-to-face classes." And regarding masks, I have to say, for 2 years, in the very beginning I had corona, now I'm suffering with long COVID and it's shit, but in the future, in winter, I will definitely wear a mask on buses and trains because I didn't have a normal cold in 2 years, which I get every time because of the buses. I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.